In this video, I'm going to go over the strategy of buying into Launchpads in a bear market, because what I've learned in my last year of crypto, and that's not a lot and I'm still learning, but what I learned was that in a bull run, it didn't matter what project you put your money into, it was all running up. It did not matter if it was some meme coin, crap coin, it didn't matter. It was all running up. Gaming, metaverse, it all ran up. Okay, but this bear market, everyone's losing money. It doesn't matter where you put your money into, everyone's losing money, okay? It doesn't matter if you're in the banks, you're losing money because of inflation. It doesn't matter if you're in stocks or real estate or whatever, you're just losing money everywhere, okay? There's no place that's safe in crypto. There's no place that's safe right now. You're going to lose money. Everyone's losing money, so don't feel like you're by yourself. But for me and my lizard brain, I'm thinking, okay, there will be a future bull run. Okay, it is 100% fact in my conviction that it's not just all down from here. There will be in the bull. Is it a year from now? Is it 3 years from now? I don't know. But I want to do my level best to buy into access to those future bull run new projects, because that's where I saw the biggest returns. I'm talking about literally 100x, 50x, 100x, 200x. I saw those types of gains. You can look them up on yourself. But we'll go over some of those things in this video. But I wanted access, and the only way to get access to that was to buy into either like these private or these allocations before they hit the markets. This is an IDO or about pre-DEX offering or initial DEX offering. Okay, and so you would have to buy into these coins and get access to them before you could buy them on something like PancakeSwap. Well, how do you do that? Well, you get into something called Launchpads. And a Launchpad is basically where they take these newer projects and they raise capital for it. People who bought in a lot of their coin, that Launchpad coin, say you have like BSCPad, you buy the BSCPad coin, you stake a lot of money, and to get access to buy into these smaller little launch pads, you become like a VC in it of yourself through this platform. And so when you get these these newer projects at their bottom rate, when they hit the market, they tend to shoot up. And the strategy is to then just dump all of it, 100%, because that's when the hype is at its maximum peak. That's when its price is at its maximum peak. And you'll see this trend in literally almost every single graph that we're going to show. It is exactly that. The first week, it usually hits its all-time high. Not always, because we'll see some of those coins too. It'll usually hit its all-time high, and then it'll just trail off into oblivion. And that's where that bull market came in, or that bear market came in. So we'll see what happens here. But I want to go into in this video 3 launch pads that I'm looking at, the latest projects that each one of these launch pads have done and how they're doing, and like what are some returns that we're looking at, some data. And then third, our realistic projected returns that could, most likely will happen for us. So I'll be doing a lot of math in this video. So if you like data, if you like statistics, if you like, synthesizing data with me, this is the video for you. And especially if you are interested in this launchpad idea, this launchpad strategy of mine. Relatively, it can be pretty cheap to get into this strategy, or it could be as expensive as you could try to make it. It's crypto after all. Anyway, let's just get started with the first launchpad, and that is called Gains Associates. And I really like this launchpad. Shout out to Brad from Infinite Crypto. Subscribe to his channel for putting me on to Gains. It's a launchpad that's I've seen like major success, and they have different tiers of you could be a fish, dolphin, shark, whale, and this tier has $200,000 of gains, or 200,000 gains. And to buy into the highest level at these current prices at 11 cents, it's $22,000. So it is not cheap by any means, but you could buy in at lower levels. And some of their best projects have been like Blocktopia with 1,000x, Project Seed with 100x, Quant Network with 500, Avalanche with 290x. So like if you bought in early on in these things, it just took off to the moon. And there's just a ton of partners and Doc's team, like a very reputable launchpad. And so you see that at an all-time high, it was at $1.60, I believe, $1.55. Locally, $1.01 or 10 cents, and now it's only worth 11 cents. So it looks like a great time to buy, especially now, bear market, if you are interested in this. Now, I would like to go over 2 of their projects here. One is Wallfare, okay? And so they offered one wallfare, one token at 3 cents. Okay, so one token, one wallfare was worth 3 cents. And if we look into coin market cap, we see that its all-time high, from its listing here, it was probably just within a week, was about 17 cents, and that is a 5.5 x gain. So let's round it up to 5 to 6x on your return. So if you bought in at, let's say, $100 and then you got vested $20, so you got $20 back of that at first, because when they don't give you all of it back, they just give you partial of it, so to avoid massive dumps. But they do give you, like, let's say 20%. You made a 5 or 6x on that return, you would have made back your money easily, and then you would have kept the money, and then so you could just sell as you go down here, and that's just how these things work. So you would have made a 5, 6x there. And I'm just going to take the all-time highs just for simplicity's sake. Another one of this, Astra Guild Adventures, okay? And you would have gotten one Astra Guild Adventures for 1 cent here, and its all-time high was like 38 cents. So that is a 38 times your return on your initial investment. Okay, as you could tell, like I said, every one of these charts start off with the biggest hype and then just kind of trail off into nothing. So remember, if you buy into these projects, I think that the best way to go about it is sell off immediately within the first week. That first vesting period, that first round of allocations that you got, just sell it. Okay. Now the next project here, that's 2. So you're looking at a 6x gain on their last one, 38x gain on the last one. Now, Enjinstarter is another one. I've mentioned this before in my channels, and I kind of go back and forth on it, but I like this a lot because it's cheap to get in. To buy in at its highest levels, all you need is $2,000. Right now, at its current price, $1,900, so less than $2,000. And this is launching video games or metaverse games and stuff on the Enjin blockchain. Enjin, as you know, is a very reputable blockchain. A lot of hype behind it, big community behind it, and so I think it's really reputable. Again, $1,900 to get into it at a current price of 0.003807. So there's that. So let's take a look at some of their previous projects. The 3 previous projects, which is Realms of Eternity, Plutonians, and Metafighter. And you know that I'm not trying to shill any kind of project here or strategy. I'm just merely taking data, and this is where we see some negative data here. Okay, Realms of Eternity, each token price was worth 3 cents. Okay, if we go into the charts here, we see that at its height it was worth 5 cents, which is a gain of 1.5x. Okay, so you make a 1.5x on this return. So 1.5, saying it like that is kind of low, but saying like 150% return, that sounds a little higher. You know what I'm saying? If you go into the next one, Plutonians, okay, and this initial token price was $1. Now Plutonians, these are all games, right? I'm not going to go into each one of these games for the sake of time, but Plutonians launched on CoinMarketCap at 14 cents, and then at an all-time high on CoinMarketCap of 29 cents. So you're losing 90% here. It's like 90%, which is terrible. So I don't know what about Plutonians. I don't know what happened there. Maybe something was botched. I have no idea. But that's definitely the first one that we see that we have a negative return on our investment. Actually, a very bad one, 90% down from our initial investment. So that's a bad one. The next one is Metafighter. Okay, Metafighter looks like the BSD token price is 1 cent or 0.013 cents for Metafighter. But if you look at the chart, its all-time high right when it comes out of the gate is 0.5 or 0.015. It's 5 cents. So that's a 5x return on your investment in the beginning. Again, so that's what we're looking at. Now that's the second launchpad. The third launchpad is something called BSCP. I've been in this for a while. This is one I personally use. I bought into this launchpad when each coin was at $2 and like 15 cents or so. So I spent a lot of money. Now it's just completely tanked. Okay, now it's at 27 cents. So I've clearly lost over 80% on my investment. I did not buy this on my own. I could not afford this. I had to source with other people. So my little group, we all lost a little money here. But either way, I am not selling. I'm holding because I want the access to these future projects. And here's why. Here are some of the future projects that we were looking at. Like if you go to projects up here, and there are some future projects. WeWay, Verve, and Metafluence, and we'll just take a look at them right now. Let's see. This is BSCP. This is WeWay. WeWay, as you can see here, 1 BUSD was 200 WeWay. Okay, 200 WeWay. That puts it at 1 WeWay was a price of 0.005 cents. Okay, so 0.005. That was the price of 1 WeWay. Now, if we look over into the charts, now the when it launched, it was only 0.02, which is a 3x return, which is really good. I mean, like, I'm not going to downplay a 3x. That's a 300% return, right? Like, that's very, very good. However, if you held it, or at least you sold it all here, and then you got later your vesting period later, it went all the way up to 7 cents, which is like a 10x return based on a 0.005 initial coin offering. So you've made 10x on the back end, and you made 3x on the front end, which is fantastic results. Okay, if we look at another, the other one, Verve, from BSCP, you see that 1 BUSD was 1,000 Verve, which puts it at 0.001 cents of per Verve. And if you look at it here, if you buy in with Verve and stuff, your all-time high is 0.03 cents, which is a 29x your return on your investment, which is not. I mean, like, that's life-changing money. Okay, that's life-changing money. Okay. Last project here was Metafluence. Metafluence buying in 1 BUSD bought you 133 Meadow or Metafluence tokens. And so that puts it at 0.007 per Metafluence token, per Meadow. Now, this one was a little weird, right? Because when you first start out, it's a 0.01, which is about a 50% return. But if you go all the way up here to an all-time high, which you would still get, you wouldn't sell all of it. They would only give you 20% here to avoid dumps. So you would still get your pricing here. You would then get a 3x down the line here, which is still fantastic. Okay, it's 3x return on, let's say, 20% of the total supply of your coin that it was initially reserved or allocated towards you. Okay, so if a lot of that math went over your head really quickly, just slow it down, rewatch this video. It gets my my views up and all that stuff anyway. Now I want to turn to what realistic projected goals, how this actually all works out in the if you buy in. So let's just pretend you buy in with $50. Okay, you already bought in your coin, you chose the Launchpad, and you bought in with $50. And they typically don't give you more allowance than $50. So you can't come in there and roll in there with the project and buy in like $5,000. They usually put a cap on it because they want it to be spread out between a lot of people. So let's say you bought in with $50, and let's just pretend that got you 100 cowboy coins. Okay, we're launching the cowboy project. 100,000 or 10,000 cowboy coins. Okay, this puts each coin at 0.005 valuation. Okay, that's the value for each coin, cowboy coin. Okay, now in a vesting schedule, okay, they'll usually split it up. Let's say like 5 months, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's say January, February, March, April, and May. Okay. They won't give you all of the tokens up front. They won't give you 100% of that tokens up front. They'll actually just give you, let's say, 2,000 tokens here, right? 2,000 tokens here, and so on. 2,000 tokens here, 2,000, and so on. This is how typically a Launchpad works. So you're not getting all of it up front, so to avoid massive dumps. Okay. So that means that this you have now $10. Of your total supply, right? This is what you have. Now, say you have, and let's just pretend like, let's just take different scenarios here, right? So say there is a 2x return, a 5x return, or a 30x return, all of which we have seen, all of which we see that is completely possible as we went through all of the latest projects, okay? So say these are the returns. Your total money off of the $10, a 2x return would be, of course, $20 would be $50 with a 5x return, or $300 with a 30x return. Again, so with your initial investment of $50, if it was a project that yielded 2x return, you would have got $20. A 5x, $50, you got to made your money back, or a 30x, you made $300. off of only 20%. You still have these different months to get the rest of your investment in. So it could still go up like, like a WeWay or something like that. It could still go up, down the line. So you still don't know what's happening. But what tends to happen usually is that month 2, it tends to be dropped from, so that, like from the initial high, let's just say it cuts down in half. So let's say you get a 1x return, a 5x return, and a 15x return, okay? Let's just create like a little space there. And so what we're actually making is just really $10, $30, or $150, okay? Now in each scenario here, we have now made in your just the lowest return possible, 2x and 1x, we have made $30 of our $50 investment, but we still, with only 40% of the supply that we are allocated towards, we still have another 60% of the supply in March, April, and May. If it's a 5x return, sorry, with it, this should be a not a 5x, but like a 2, like a 3x. We'll just say 3. That's messy. With a 3x, you would have been up with your initial investment of $30. So you would have been up $30 with this middle of the road investment, and you still have the 6,000 more coins coming at you. And of course, if you just smash it with one of these projects, you're looking at like massive gains here, okay? The percentage returns are massive. Now here's the question. It seems that these launch pads are not all equal. Okay, it seems like Enjinstarter seems to be the lowest tier. You could buy it at the lowest, with the lowest price, but it seems to be developing some of the lower returns compared to, right, something like Gains Associates and BSC Pad. BSC Pad seems to be the middle of the road, and Gains Associates seems to be like really high on the road, but it takes the most amount of money. However, when I'm looking at Gains and I'm looking at BSC Pad, it looks to be about similar buy-ins. So this really makes a strong case for really 2 launch pads. Either you don't have enough money to stake to the highest tier Gains Associates, so you could go on Enjinstarter and still see some positive returns, or you go into Gains Associates where you see like the biggest returns. Not shooting BSC Pad down, because I'm in BSC Pad, I choose to stay in BSC Pad. But if you're just getting started, this is kind of my, the math. This is kind of how everything breaks down with the research. Let me know what you think. Are you interested in buying into Access, getting Access now at its cheapest for launch pads in the future for a future bull run? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching so much, and I'll see you in the next video.